Good morning, Carly. You're on there with Father Driscoll and Baron Coleman.
Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning.
Happy New Year to you. And is it possible that you will allow me to answer your question in the form that they refuse to answer?
Well, I don't know if they refuse to answer, but go ahead. Give it your best shot.
Okay. And I want to ask you a question after this on Exodus 20th chapter, verse 4. But let me ask this here. Let me explain this to you. You understand gravity on Earth and gravity compared to on the moon. There's gravity here to keep us bound to the Earth where we can walk. But on the moon, we can jump and we can bounce like a quarter of a mile. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's the laws of gravity. They're different on Earth than they are on the moon. Now, check this out. Each day is created by God, and He has certain laws and regulations and things that fall into place. So when you choose to do God's will, when you choose to love God with all your heart, mind, and soul, and love your neighbor as yourself, there are certain paths that you're going to take. And with those paths that you take, you will be doing God's will. But if you choose not to love God with all your heart, mind, and soul, and if you choose not to love your neighbor as yourself, you're going to go down Satan's path. There's no in-between. There's no lukewarm. It's either good or evil. So if you choose to be good, as I say, you know.
Well, let me ask you a question. Okay.
God knows where you're going to be.
So let me ask you a question then. You keep putting "if I choose." You keep saying "if I choose." So evidently, it's my choice, right?
It's your free will to choose.
So okay.
To do good or evil.
Okay. So then, does God know what I'm going to do?
No. That's up to you. That's your free will.
Oh, okay. All right. What's your other question?
Okay. On Exodus 20, chapter verse 4, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Why is it that people make statues, graven images of things that are in heaven or that are in the earth?
You don't have any pictures or statues or a plastic plant or anything at your house? Your place is completely free of all images?
I asked the question, but you come back with a question, but I will answer that. I do not have any photos of Jesus or God.
What about it said anything on the earth or in the heaven or under the earth. Right. It didn't say God. It said anything at all. You don't have a picture of a fish or a picture of a tree or a picture of a parent or a cousin or anything?
Model airplane?
Okay.
Model airplane? Anything on earth.
You're avoiding answering my question.
Well, I think they make a valid point.
That's the deceptive
well, you answer the question.
Of your mentality.
Dennis, answer their question. They asked you a question.
I asked the question first.
You shall not make for yourself an idol or a likeness of anything. Dennis, do you have a likeness of anything in your house? And then I'll answer your question.
No, the question.
Because otherwise you're going to hell, Dennis.
Why do people make?
I'm sorry, what?
I asked specifically, and I wasn't picking on you. I asked a question. Why do people make graven images? But since you refuse to answer,
well, I refuse to answer too, though.
White Jesus with blonde hair, blue eyes was to confuse the people and to make white people look like they're the greatest saints. When actually, if you really look at it, white people are just as evil as any other race. They are not greater, none of that. And God is not about color. And as far as Catholics, you need to correct, just like the black churches and other churches need to correct their pastors and pulpit holders from raping these little children and little boys and girls and fornication and adultery. And the main thing, you need to stop all of your lying tongues, because that's an abomination unto God too.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I have seen Dennis Latham's LinkedIn account. It has a graven image of himself on it. I really feel bad for him if he's holding himself to that standard.
Good morning, Carly O'Neill.